So I want to introduce our last people, Maggie and Alyssa, and they're going to tell us about what the future of OSM US has and wrap up our wonderful Mapping USA.
Awesome. Thank you, Diane. And thanks everyone for today. It was kind of went by a little bit fast. I don't know about you, but the bus was moving. So I appreciated everybody's presentations. We have just one last thing for you today. I will get the slides to advance. So why 15 years? Well, if you all didn't know, OpenStreetMap US is in Aries. It's founded on April 19th, 2010. So this year of 2025, through the math, is our 15th anniversary. And if you missed the panel earlier, there was quite a few folks talking about our origins, but the mission was written years ago to support the OpenStreetMap project in the US through education, advocacy, ensuring broad availability of data across the nation, continuous quality improvement, and an active community. And if today's any indication, that last part is definitely something that's continuing. So thanks for showing up. First Tea of the Map was held in 2010 in Georgia. If you don't know, we try to change states every year. So since then, we've been to 12 other states, 11. That's in the next slide. Along the way, it was driven by all volunteer board members until 2018 when they hired their first executive director. It wasn't me. I came along in 2019. And then, as we transitioned to a staff organization, things look a little bit different, but a lot of the mission stays the same. Here's some by the numbers since 2010. I know we love to do this, especially with our conferences, but there have been 31 volunteer board members, 55 recorded MAPI hours. I think we had 55 alone in 2020. We were craving a connection, so we did a lot more MAPI hours. We've had 12 State of the Map conferences, so 11 states, 8 working groups that I talked about earlier, 291 Slack channels. Did anyone create a new one today? I have to check. 76,657 messages in the general channel. Yeah, that's a lot. We now have 10 organizational members. I think you saw some slides up about OpenStreetMap US being a member-driven organization. And we now have 257 current members as individuals, unless you signed up today, and that number will go up. Thank you. We've been through 2 CRMs, if you know content management, which is fun. And we have, even today, I think we had another 25 signups. So we're up to about 7,400 people chatting on Slack, which is really amazing to see the activity over there, especially today on the Mapping USA channel. So a lot has happened over the last few years. This presentation can't capture even that part of it, but the other thing that we've done in the last 5 years are 2 surveys. So this gives us an idea of what's cooking in the community, what's important to folks, and who's out there. So with that, I'll hand it over to Alyssa.
Hey again, everyone. I'm here with even more numbers. So the community survey that we ran went from October 29th of last year and ended just this month on January 3rd. We got 125 responses, and I'm going to do a brief overview of some of the responses we got, and there will be a more in-depth review coming as well on the OpenStreetMap US blog as well. All right. So we asked a couple of demographic questions, as Maggie said, to get a sense of who's out there. And on, I believe it's your left, it's my left, is the 2019 results, which is the last time that OpenStreetMap US ran a community survey as well. So this one is gender identity. If you go to the next one, we will have race, ethnicity. We described it as category this year. In 2019, this particular question was worded in a different way. There were different, options available. So direct comparison isn't possible, but I do think this gives a good snapshot. And then age as well. And this is the number of respondents who gave each answer. And, our team looked at these responses and it told us that we want to be a lot more intentional in 2025 about creating a space that's welcoming to everybody, regardless of your race, your gender, your age. If you're a new mapper or if you've been mapping for over a decade, we want to make a space for you where you feel welcomed. And that's definitely on the top of our minds for 2025. This question is, which of the following communities do you align yourself with? The percentage is the percentage of all survey respondents that gave that answer. So some of the largest ones are, we have a lot of folks who identify as local community members or leaders, which is really exciting. I'm in that category. I think I mentioned Map RVA earlier today. We have a lot of working group members as well. A number of folks who are new to OpenStreetMap too, which is really exciting. And then we have a section on the survey for, general mapping trends. So this one we asked, where do you like to map? And it's showing the number of folks who gave each response. And what do you like to map? We see there's a large showing from folks interested in pedestrian infrastructure, which is wonderful because now we have a monthly space for all those folks to convene the pedestrian working group. And then we've got buildings, roads, points of interest, and bicycle infrastructure are pretty well represented there as well. And this one is, how do you prefer to communicate with the OpenStreetMap US community? Slack is the largest one, which is wonderful to see it so well represented. And a lot of folks, either in the other section of this question or at the end of the survey in the short answer, said blue sky. So maybe we will put that on our to-do list for 2025 is to get OpenStreetMap US blue sky as well. And then we had some short answer questions for folks to tell us why they were motivated to make an OpenStreetMap account in the first place and why they could continue to contribute. And we got a lot of really wonderful responses there. My personal favorite on this page is, what motivated you to make an OSM account? And they said, seemed like just my thing, making maps. I was right. And I'm very glad you were right. And if this is the first time you are hearing about the OpenStreetMap US community survey, well, you are in luck because we are reopening it just for this weekend. It's going to close on January 27th, and you could scan that QR code, be taken to the survey. If you'd like, I'll also put the survey link in the Mapping USA Slack channel as well. And it's anonymous if you'd like it to be, but you could also put your OpenStreetMap username, and your responses will be included in, the more in-depth review we'll do on the blog later this month. I'm going to turn it back over to Maggie to talk about.
Yeah, so we use those surveys to get a sense of what's important to folks, but also where we can focus some efforts on the OSM US staff side, if there's new tools we need or different ways to bring people into the project. We always think about that, and we set priorities at the beginning of each year. We're currently doing that, and we'll definitely share those out with everyone. But we wanted to provide a sneak preview of some of the things we're excited about. I can tell you the main theme for the looking ahead is community. So how do we support community and individuals building projects, building community, mapping. So we have a very fun announcement to make on that end. Alyssa.
I feel like I've been talking about grants a lot today, but I think that's a good thing. We are launching an OpenStreetMap US micro grant program in February, and I'd love to tell you guys a little bit about it. So this microgrant program is to support events and travel occurring within the United States. And you'd have to be an OpenStreetMap US member to apply, but everyone is welcome otherwise. And we got 3 different grant categories launching. So the first is a community events grant. That is to support, local group meetups, mapathons, whether it's a single event or a recurring event. If you would like financial support for all of, your local group meetups throughout the entire year, then this is available to you. And if you don't have a local mapping group in your area, highly suggest you apply as well. And maybe this can help you, kickstart that group. The second category is we have a travel grant. And that is if you are talking about OpenStreetMap, talking about the work of OpenStreetMap US, either in like a professional or an academic capacity, and you need some help with travel costs or registration costs as well. That reimbursement is available to you. And then the third one is a bit of a relaunch. So I believe 2 years back, Teach OSM had the Education Collaboration Grant. And we are bringing that back, and it's meant for 2 or more like education focused institutions, whether that's a school or like a Youth Mappers chapter or an after school club that's interested in hosting a mapping event with 1 or more, partner institutions, and they'll collaborate on it together. So we have that as well. So yeah, be on the lookout for an announcement from OSM US in mid-February explaining, how to apply and all those fun details.
Thank you. I will say there is a limit, so we're only going to get a couple of grants a year. So if you're interested, yeah, definitely check out that announcement when it comes out. I think you've already signed up for our newsletter, but if you haven't, there'll be a link to that too. Other things in the works, we're doing a lot of work with the Trails Working Group for the Trail Stewardship Initiative. There's new mapping tasks. There's going to be a project roadmap developed and a lot more there. One of the things we heard was it's hard for people to know what's going on all the time, with all the working groups, when the meetings are. So we're looking into building an OSM US, on our website calendar for all of those different things, mappy hours, to keep everyone organized. Public domain map improvements, and then the Teach OSM sandbox is just the beginning of that project. We're envisioning and going to build an entire classroom, so some work to grade and bring students into OpenStreetMapping in a safe learning environment that maintains the quality of OpenStreetMap while bringing on new mappers. And as mentioned earlier, we're working on a community tile server. Little plug, if you want to see the sandbox in action, Quincy Morgan will be doing a demo of that tomorrow at noon Eastern. Just a summary of kind of the coming months, like what's on your radar. We don't have the calendar up yet, so we're going to be opening those maker grants next month, and the Map-A-Lay Camera Grant program as well. The board just came on to get y'all to sign up to become members so you can run for the board and vote. So that's over the next month. By March, we'll have our 3 new board members. OpenStreetMap US has come to a point where we're going to be publishing our 3rd annual report in our 15 years, which is pretty cool. So that'll come out in the spring and share all of the great work over the last year of the community and of how we work. In April, we will have to throw a small party and eat some cake because that's our birthday, but the real party will happen in June in Boston. State of the Map US, June 19th to 21st. There will be a cake at this conference, so if that's a bonus for you, definitely join us up there.
A bit more about this conference / apparently birthday party. State of the Map US is June 19th to 21st this year in Boston, Massachusetts. And we have a really exciting theme this year, kind of inspired by our wonderful Kraken logo we have this year. He looks like he knows where he's going. So this year's theme is charting the course. We are talking about all things mobility, whether that's, routing engines, pedestrian infrastructure, biking, public transportation. If you use OpenStreetMap to get around in your day-to-day life, then we want to invite you to State of the Map US, and we are definitely looking for talk proposals as well that fit that theme too. We have scholarship applications available for those that need financial support to attend the conference. The domestic scholarship application deadline is the end of this month. Unfortunately, the international scholarship deadline already passed. but we're still taking applicants who are traveling within the United States. And early bird ticket prices also end at the end of this month as well. And this year we are hoping to host an open education track, which both our education working group and the Say the Map US program committee has been working on exactly what that will look like. But we're hoping it's going to be a space for educators, students, academics to come together, problem solve together, share their resources, learn from experienced mappers, and have the space to convene and talk about all things OpenStreetMap. And we have an early Valentine's Day surprise. Oop, I think I see that QR code is broken on the slide, so I will send it in the Slack afterwards. But the call for proposals, which was originally going to close at the end of this month on the 31st, is now being extended to Valentine's Day because we love you guys so much. So you're welcome to submit for a panel, a workshop, a lightning talk, birds of a feather. All these types of things are available. And in case you've never presented at a conference before, or maybe you have an idea, but you're not super sure about it, Clay and Sean are actually having an info session tomorrow at 2 p.m. that we invite you to join if you'd like to talk to them about their experience and, bounce ideas off of them as well. So yeah, we hope to see you in Boston this June, and I will turn it back to Maggie.
Thanks. And, don't let charting the course scare you away. If you have something that is not on theme, we're going to have 3 tracks this year. We've got a big space at Boston University, so any kind of talk is welcome. It's just kind of fun to be able to have a theme, So what else is going on? Oh, membership. Like I said, if you want to participate, or just find a way to support the org, you can become a member. And then allows you to vote for the board, but you also get discounts. Like if you're planning to go to State of the Map US, you get a member discount on those tickets. You can apply for OSM US microgrants and kind of fun things that we come up with throughout the year. And like I said, the nominations open tomorrow for that board election. Head over to the wiki and add your name. Or if you're talking a friend into it, you can nominate them. And we hope to see all of those folks. We will have a town hall with all the candidates next month. So you'll get to meet everyone, and members are invited to that as well. We also have an organizational membership. So if your university or your company, or if you work for the federal government, if your agency or the state government, we welcome everyone as organizational members. It really helps us cover our overhead even though we're a nonprofit, we still have costs. It's weird how that works, but those organizational memberships are really important to us. And if there's any members on the call, thank you. If there's any individual members on the call, thank you. Couple notes about tomorrow. I mentioned in the beginning, but you will receive an email tomorrow with the link for the workshops. It won't be in this room because we want you to be able to talk to each other. So you will get another link to be able to go on Zoom and jump into those rooms. There will be 2 simultaneous tracks. So you have to pick one room and commit to it. But you'll be able to ask questions, interact, meet folks interested in some of the same things. So here's a reminder. Here are all the things going on tomorrow. Thanks to these facilitators taking part of their Saturday to share their knowledge and their interest. And thanks again for everyone for coming out today. I just have one more thing to say. If they let me play on the music. Thank you very much. And now everybody go mapping USA.